Hello, and it's good to have you join us again on Maritime Radar. The International Transport Workers Federation, founded 1896 in London by European seafarers and dockers union leaders, realized the need to organize internationally against strike breakers. ITF, since it was founded, has been helping seafarers and today represents the interest of seafarers worldwide, with over 600,000 of them as members of ITF-affiliated unions. ITF working to improve conditions for seafarers of all nationalities and to ensure adequate regulation of the shipping industry, protect the interests and rights of maritime workers. Over the years, ITF has organized workers in ships, ports, railways, road freight, passenger transport, inland waterways, fisheries, tourism, and civil aviation. Averting the shutdown of Nigerian ports as a result of a breach on the collective bargaining agreement by some shipping companies are some of the issues that will be on the front burner on today's show. I'm Norma Obiaswalo. Maritime workers are key drivers of the maritime sector. Their well-being is a reflection of the health of the industry. Therefore, the need to ensure policies which must be implemented and put in place to protect their interests in the workplace. Notably, in advanced maritime nations, the qualitative education of workers and their welfare are given the highest priority. In Nigeria, there have been continued uncertainties resulting from unemployment amid the dearth of the qualified workforce. The call for a national line is apt. It will help to create an opportunity for building seafarers, cadets, and other key workers in the industry to enable them get proper certification and training. Priority must also be placed on the health, payment of salaries, safety, and general welfare to meet international standards. Before we get further into today's lineup on the program, let's find out the latest in maritime news.
The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Jumoke Oduwole, has assured Nigerian exporters of targeted policy interventions to address the challenges hampering their growth. Speaking during a ministerial consultation with the top 100 exporters in Lagos, she described 2024 as a pivotal year of Nigerian businesses, promising to develop a comprehensive action plan with clear timelines to resolve the issues raised by exporters. The consultation brought together key regulatory agencies including Customs, the Standards Organization of Nigeria, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, and the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control to discuss and streamline solutions to export-related challenges. Oduwole further noted Nigeria's readiness to lead in digital trade and leverage this potential to revive its commodity exchange, adding that overlapping duties that cost importers and exporters more are not new. The consultation provided a platform to deliberate on the challenges and opportunities shaping Nigeria's export landscape, including market access issues, regulatory bottlenecks, and infrastructural constraints. 16 people, including 12 foreign nationals, are still missing after a tourist boat sank off Egypt's Red Sea coast this week. According to a statement by the Red Sea Governorate, the vessel named Sea Story was carrying 44 people, 31 tourists and 13 crew on a multi-day diving expedition when it capsized near the coastal town of Masa Alam. Authorities reported that 28 people were rescued with only minor injuries such as bruises and scrapes. Red Sea Governor Amr Hanafi stated that preliminary findings suggest a large sudden wave struck the 34-meter vessel, capsizing it within 5 to 7 minutes. Hanafi further noted that some passengers were in their cabins, which is why they were unable to escape. The passengers aboard were nationals from the United States, Belgium, Britain, China, Finland, Germany, Ireland, Poland, Slovakia, Spain, and Switzerland. The vessel underwent its most recent inspection in March 2024, receiving a 1-year validity certificate from the Maritime Safety Authority. A technical review conducted after the incident confirmed no mechanical faults with the vessel.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Maritime Radar, the International Transport Workers Federation, which represents transport workers' interest in international bodies, plays a crucial role to support its members' trade union to find ways of defending their interests in the global economy. They take decisions affecting jobs, employment conditions, and safety. These bodies include the International Labour Organization, the International Maritime Organization, and the International Civil Aviation Organization. The ITF also takes up the interests of transport workers with the OECD, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, and the World Trade Organization. In this chart, with Prince Adewale Adeyanju, President General Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, Chairman ITF Africa, and Vice President ITF Global, speaks on breach of some shipping companies on the 200,000 naira collective bargaining agreement, the call of government to renew licenses of terminal operators, the ratification of its appointment at ITF, and well-being of maritime workers. This and many more in this episode. Stay with us. PG, it's good to have you again on the show.
Thank you for having me again.
The struggle of almost 3 decades came to an end a few weeks ago in the landmark agreement for minimum standards for shipping. But after that signing agreement, it seems that not all the shipping companies are following through that agreement. Talk to us, what's happening?
Well, it's unfortunate that there's no how you're going to rule out some of the employers who doesn't have love for their employees. Some of the employers who believe in managing workers as if they are slaves. You cannot rule it out. And I think the union have come out openly to address that issues, because the matter has been on for close to decades. And for the Honorable Minister of Labour Economy, that Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria have so much respect for, directing that matter should be resolved. And for him, because of the love and respect he has for the workers in maritime sectors, came all the way from Abuja to witness signing of the agreement. Not only signing it, not only witnessing it, he was there live and direct for close to a whole day. And for employers that have used these workers for decades, saying he is not going to be part of that agreement, we were surprised. And that's why we cry out to all the stakeholders that we are not going to accept that. And we have done what I think is expected of us as a union by way of writing to the regulating agents, that's the Shippers Council. And if you recollected, the Shippers Council, Barrister Opai Zakute, with due respect, said no, agreement is an agreement. So if one person or 2 persons out of 100 complaining that is not going to be part of the association, there's a difference between being a part of the association that sat down with the union, have this agreement. There's another thing for you to be a very responsible employer in the shipping department. So what we did was to tell the whole world that there's no how we accept even one saying it's not going to be part of that agreement, because a small alligator pepper can blind eyes if it's not well managed. And that's why you cry out, and very soon we're going to picket the companies that are trying to say no to that agreement. So we're not bothered about the threat. If 98% agreed on the agreement, and it's implementing it. So we are not bothered about him. We are not bothered about those 2 people out of 98%.
So there's a threat to shut the port. Are you going to pay the sins of others for others, or you are going to face the people who are not complying with this agreement?
And you should know by now that the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, we are not irresponsible union leaders. We follow due process. The sin of the father cannot be what? Be transcended to the son or children. So we face the person concerned. We have the power. We have every power to deal with whoever is trying to mess up that agreement signed. So we cannot shut down the whole economy because of one or two persons. Rather, we are going to meet the person. We know how to get our right for him. If we say no, he's not going to follow what that agreement has been saying. What we are saying now is that minimum standard in shipping that have been denied the right of the poor workers in shipping for almost decades, and somebody is saying no, he's not going to follow that agreement. So we've seen him as anti-labor.
That's a very good stand to take, really. So talk to us about the call to federal government to renew licenses of terminal operators, looking at the huge role they play in creating employment for your workers.
Well, I think the history have taught us a very big lesson. And over the years, when in 2001, 2002, the port was given out to private hands on behalf of Nigeria Port Authority. It's a tripartite agreement between MPA, the BPE, and the terminal operators themselves, that they have signed an agreement. I think the first thing they consider was labor. That's the workers. If you don't take it as a right that belongs to the workers, why are you a terminal operator? As a landlord, I gave part of my job to somebody to manage as a service provider on my behalf. And the agreement was solid. Every party adhered to the agreement. So, and the person you gave the job to, you know, is managing fragile department that has to do with workers, mostly the dock workers. In 2001 and 2006, we know what we passed through in the hands of our members. We're close to 13,000 workforce in Nigeria Port Authority lost their job, with the hope that the terminal operators coming, they will inherit them. Those are the excuses given. Those are the street mark given by then. So now, the way it is now, since 2006 to date, it's almost 17 or 18 years that you are giving part of this job to terminal operators to manage on behalf of the federal government of this great country. If you are not saying, well, you are not renewing their their licenses, then what happened to the workers under them? That I believe, yes, the hope is there, everything is there. So somebody is not saying, well, we're not going to renew it. So there's a lot of anxiety in the mind of the workers, not only dock workers, including shipping. Even the port authority themselves talk less of seafarer, because whatever that affected highs must only affected the nose or even the general bodies. So what we are saying is that the government should, as a matter of urgency, renew their license to avoid anxiety that is going on in the mind of the workers, and coupled with economic situation we find ourselves now. If you look around the port now, it's like an empty. Because of economic situation we find ourselves. Naira refuses to marry dollar, dollar refuses to marry Naira. So they are not working together. The synergy is not there. And if the finance is not there, what happens to economic situations? The investors that are under me as a terminal operators, they will have to run away, because since their hope, the license renewal, has not been given to part of their management, they will not like to invest more on that.
Okay, we are due for a break, and we'll be looking at infrastructural concerns in the Nigerian port, but that will be after the short break. Please stay with us.
Africa needs its own storytellers, people who understand the continent because they're from it. People who know that news is more than just a conversation starter, it's our stories. Because these stories run deeper than headlines and segments. It's about digging deeper to get the facts and telling the human side of every single story, not just the echoes from foreign headlines and perspectives. It's time to take back our narratives and share them in our voices. The birth of Africa's New Age reporting, and this is where it begins, right here at News Central TV, with stories that put Africa first.
Welcome back if you're just joining us. This is Maritime Radio, and I still have with me Adewale Adeyanju. He is the President General, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. He's also the Chairman, ITF Africa, and Vice President, ITF Global. Before we went on that break, I said there's another concern of collapsing key aprons in our ports, which is becoming a death trap for workers. And your association, your workers are there. So what are you going to do about this? It's a death trap, really.
I think all of us witnessed when the political parties are coming on board and are listening to the speech of our Mr. President, Senator Asiwaju Bola Ahmed, who said, I quote him, that he would like the port, Nigeria port, to be one of the hub centers in the whole world, where everybody, investors, everybody will come in to come and do business. Yes, we had, through the then MD of NPA, who said they've secured a loan of close to billions of dollars.
I think 800 or 700 from Citibank.
From Citibank, that all the ports that have been dilapidated will be what? Will be given facelifts. We wrote, we protested about those key aprons that some of our members are working on, that is not arbitrary for them and is not good for them to work. The then MD of NPA, Coco, said, yes, all efforts have been put in place, that they have secured a loan. Since that time till now that he left, we have not seen any sign of contractor coming into the port and do those corrections. If you go to one particular terminal in Tinker Island, that place is the worst. I will not mention the name because of what is going on underground. It's a death trap. First, we cannot even batter there. So they are only managing 2 bats they have. So the whole of the key apron is gone. And they are making hell of business. Are you going to wait for government to repair your house for you before you know that the life of the poor workers are what? At danger, at danger. So our concerns still remain that yes, all is still not yet okay, but thank God we have gotten another MD that I believe is from the grass to where he is today. He started from the port. He started his youth service corps in the port. So he knows the fundamental rights of port operations. So that's why we are giving him benefit of yes, God has given us somebody that is from the home, is from the house, and he knows the job. So we want to give you that benefit of that is going to fix most of all those small pockets of problem that is affecting the port operations. So do you know we are not folding our hands because it's affecting our members, and if as it happened, it's the workers.
I'm looking at averting any serious disaster. So how much time are you going to give looking at how bad this is?
What we are trying to do is to sit down with the new MD and let him know what you are saying. Let him go around the whole port. Tinker Island, Papa Port. From there, let him go to Warri, Calabar, and look at what is going on there. There are some jetties too that are collapsing. And where is the fate of the workers? And we are saying, okay, we don't want to lose our members as a result of dilapidated ports that is is going on in the airport. So to me, I believe the MD will do something better.
Moving away from the key aprons, how do we achieve international value for our Nigerian seafarers? Do you think orange certificate is now acceptable internationally?
Well, I don't think. I do not think. And that's the concern of the union over the years, where the seafarers have to travel the way from Nigeria here to Ghana for their STCW. It's unfortunate. So I think they need to look at it properly and make sure that we call ourselves giants of Africa, where we cannot compare ourselves or equate ourselves with other small African countries.
Okay, wait for that. Let us also look at the economic benefit, because that's also one way that you should be address the shipping sector, even the seafarers. The economic benefits of having a national line. Maybe government could partner with private sector to ensure this, even if they don't want to do it alone. So how do we get this balance?
It is our stand, and that's our belief, that the new Minister of Blue Economy will look into that properly. It is going to boost our economy. In those days, we have River Gurara, River Adija, River Adada. They name it after various states, River Adija of those days. So even we can float like 3 or 4. It's going to help some of our students that we are sending abroad to go and learn how to be the engineer, cadet, or whatever. By the time they graduated, where are they going to work? You see them roaming about the streets. But if you have close to 5 or 10 vessels, you can even partner. You can synergy with other countries.
Well, what do you think exactly is the issue? Is it that government doesn't believe in it, or there's no funding, or there's no just vision for it?
I think
Where's the missing link?
the missing link is about somebody there and somebody that is not there, and somebody that have an experience about the job. If they sit down, the Minister of Blue Economy proper, I believe he'll be championing for the cause of having
during that talk, two things that he mentioned that he was going to do was ensure that infrastructure, because he saw it.
You saw it now.
Then he also mentioned vessels. So, but this a year plus after.
Maybe it's on pipeline, because the people that are supposed to have briefed him properly. I'm not speaking for them. I'm always saying that I've met the minister almost 2 times, and I know he has passion and he has vision for Maritime Hub Center. You can see where he has dedicated his most of his program is on trawling, fishing trawling. That will create more money for Nigeria.
It's also critical to drive our ocean
Yes,
resources.
ocean resources. And we have a new MD of NIWA now, who is proactive, who is doing well. We have some of them that are technocrats who have visions for this great country. But the concern of maritime workers in Nigeria on seafarer is about floating a vessel that will accommodate some of our children that we have sent abroad on scholarship. By the time they graduated as a seafarer or whatever, where are they coming for? What job are they going to meet? If we did not encourage our indigenous ship owners that are spending their hard-earned money in floating a vessel. Some private indigenous ship owners, some of them have 5 or 6 or 7 vessels. That is what is giving Nigeria name that we are seeing into seafarer business. And they need to be encouraged. They need to be empowered. So what stops government in floating, in having a vessel, like 3, 4, or 5? You can partner with other people. You can franchise with them. You can sit down with them. You can say, okay, fine. Let's do it maybe 60-40 or whatever.
It's so sad, because if the aviation sector can get it right, why can't we in the maritime industry? It's really sad. Before I let you go, talk to us on the ratification of your appointment as ITF chairman and vice president, ITF Global.
Well, I want to thank everybody, and I want to thank you for this beautiful question. I think it has to do with the trust coming from ITF, and they've tested us properly. And we have held our elections, and Nigeria will be given 2 slots, one for Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria and Alhaji Yasin of NURTW, who also double as an executive board member of ITF. And it has to do with the love and respect they have for this our country. So I want to thank all the stakeholders who contributed to the success, thank all my national officers who have been part of the struggle. We are not new in ITF. My mentor, our leader, Chief Ogunleye, and Letabam, they are the one that brought ITF to this great country. And since then, we have been an affiliate of ITF. So my coming as the Vice President Global is not new. It's because of we have been there, we have been following the trends. We are not coming for positions, but they feel that there's need for us to be elected and be given the benefiting office under the transport sectors.
Congratulations is in place.
Thank you.
And I know that you've done very well.
Thank you.
You are a born leader. That is just it. It's not. You could see it. You could see the CP is coming here for the first time during your tenure. You know, you've really shown that leadership skill. So I know that you also do well in this global stage. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I wish you and your association very well.
Thank you very much.
Adewale Adeyanju, President General, Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria. He is also Chairman ITF Africa and Vice President ITF Global. Thank you very much for your time and show, and I look forward to government addressing these issues of terminal renewal of terminal license, payment of seafarers in good time.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
And that's our show this week. Join us every week on Maritime Radar as we explore developing issues that will drive strategic repositioning of the maritime sector. We also share the latest in global and local maritime news, plus industry insights. I'm Norma Obiaswala. Many thanks for your time and see you again next week.